What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Philip, Jeff, Rochelle? How's it going?
Hi, Darrell.
Oh, wait.
Well, I was hoping, I thought maybe a little bit more people on here, but that's why I recorded it, just in case they need to come on and get some. Maybe they didn't have any questions, but always want to start doing like a Q and A, maybe like once a week or something like that, just in case people have questions. I actually just went to the I thought I was gonna have to cancel this because I went to the dentist, and so my mouth is, on this side is like halfway numb, So, but
It
I'll give
doesn't
it
look
a couple.
numb. It probably feels numb, but it looks fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks fine, but you know how it is when you got that. I had to go get a filling in the top of my right here, and they stick that needle in there, and man, I'm telling you, it feels weird. But how are you guys doing?
Doing well. I see what is it, 400 or 500 on this community now?
Yeah, it's 400, a little bit over 400, I think like 404 or 5 people. So it's
That's
growing
brilliant.
it's coming along pretty fast. I think I launched it like back here about a month ago, maybe like a little bit under a month ago. So it's coming along pretty good. I'm working on some more. I got a module that I'm doing videos for right now. That's why it's private back there. So once I get all the content put in there, then I'll unlock it and then people can go in there and watch that. So got a lot of stuff that's coming. Oh,
Brilliant. Where do you get the replays, Darrell?
I didn't hear you, Philip.
Where do you get the replays? I couldn't find the replays.
The replays, I typically, anytime we do these, so anytime I do these, I know one time I couldn't find the replay, but typically when I do these, the replay I just kind of just post them into the community. So I don't have a spot where I actually post them, but I'm going to start doing that. I'm actually going to have like matter of fact, I may create one to starting today where anytime we have like trainings, I may just have like a replay training module where people can always go back there if they didn't, they can look at all the replays. I want to get in a habit of doing that for everybody. Well,
Will
man, we're
there
gonna
be
go ahead and get started. I don't want to, just because a lot of people didn't come on, and I don't want to keep everybody. I don't want to have to wait, and so they can. We'll always have these again or whatnot. So I don't know if any of you guys have any questions about anything. That's why I have these because you never know if someone has any questions or anything like that. That's why I have these again because a lot of stuff is going. A lot of people are. You may have questions and they may not.
I
So
have a
how's
few questions. I have a few questions. The first one, if you've got time, I would really love it uh if you could watch my video if you had the time.
Yeah, where's it at?
Um, that's a good question, Dara.
Is it on your TikTok?
Yeah, yeah, it's on my TikTok, but um,
I can pull
what's
it up
what's
for you. I can we can pull
will
up.
it come up there for you?
Yeah, let me share.
It's at illuminate your path underscore
Okay, give me 1 second.
and TikTok. Sorry,
Eliminate your path.
yeah, underscore.
Sorry about that.
Illuminate your path. Sorry, illuminate your path.
Give me a second. Okay, eliminate your path.
Oh, illuminate your path.
Illuminate.
Yeah, sorry.
Illuminate.
I ILL.
Is it AL?
No,
Or
it's IL.
okay, ILL.
That's it.
Illuminate.
Path.com.
Illuminate your path.
No, just path.
Illuminate path.
I couldn't get that one.
Illuminate path.
It's illuminatepath.com underscore.
And that's your TikTok handle name?
Yeah,
Illuminate.com, illuminatepath.com underscore.
underscore.
Okay, I see you. Give me 1 second. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not. So let me get out of this. So let me stop that and so I can reshare it and pull it up. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, which one of the videos you want me to
Well,
check out?
if you scroll up, if you can go from that one there, 208 views, your paycheck.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to check it out?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right.
My
Your
message should be the same,
okay.
apart from the hook. My name's Philip. I'm married with two children, and Jesus lives in my I missed heart. the hook. Sorry, sorry.
Uh,
But
Like
and save this video for later. I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was working 12 hours in a job that I didn't like, working paycheck to paycheck, week in, week out. Nothing would change if nothing changes. It's as simple as that. And I wanted to earn more from the comfort of my own home so that I could sort out my mortgage, so that I could sort out my heating bill, so that I could sort out my car maintenance. And I knew that working in a job, it wasn't the answer. But I wanted to earn from the comfort of my own home, and I wanted to have the money there so that I could pay all these bills. And guess what? I found something that worked. It was an online proven blueprint, was proven to work if I worked it. And you didn't need to be technical. And they taught you how to get all your earn activities done in 2 to 3 hours. Can you imagine, instead of spending 12 hours in a job, just spend 2 to 3 hours earning from the comfort of your own home? How would that change your life? If you want to follow the same blueprint that I follow, if you want to make a change, put right in the comments because I'd love to share this with you. Your paycheck is okay, so now Philip, this isn't a bad video. This isn't a bad video. You focused, you were kind of long-winded a little bit, focusing, instead of like hitting the pain, because you have a lot of pain points, which is really good, because that's where the relatability comes in. But you were kind of just winded. You were kind of long-winded. And what I mean by that, like you just kept on, so you just kept on. And like when you said like, working you working 12 hours a day. I can't remember. You said like two or three things, paying your mortgage or something like that. When you say about two or three of them, that's all you have to say. You don't have to keep on going because see, you're going to, when you start talking about working 12 hours a day, a lot of people can relate to that. There's a lot of people doing that, right? And so again, how this video is structured is good, but what's missing in the video when you said you told them, hey, you found this blueprint, right? So you want to kind of let them know when you found the blueprint. So you want to be like, hey, and it wasn't, again, I think it was right about right here. Give me a second. Earn more from the comfort of my own home so that I could sort out my mortgage, so that I could sort out my heating bill. The system is, give me a second. My name's Philip. I'm married with two children. My name's Philip. Okay, so the first thing, Philip, is you need a hook, right? So there is no hook. Now you got, Sorry, there is a hook. I don't know why it's not showing, but there is a hook.
yeah, I know, but you want to hook where you're talking the hook, like see
Yeah, yeah,
in the top.
there is a hook. I don't know why it's not showing you, but I do talk a hook.
The
Yeah,
problem. The system is. Okay, so when I click on that video,
yeah,
your
that's it.
paycheck isn't the problem. The system check isn't the problem, and Jesus lives.
It's your pay. It's a very short hook. Your paycheck isn't the problem. The system is. That's the hook.
Okay, okay, cool, okay, all right. That is a good hook. Okay, all right. Problem. The system is. My name's Philip. I'm married with two children, and Jesus lives in my heart. I want you to follow, like, and save this video for later. I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was working 12 hours in a job that I didn't like. Working. Okay, so when you say okay, you said you were stressed, you was overwhelmed, you're working 12 hours at a job you didn't like. Those are three hooks right there, Philip. You could have just that's all you need right there. a lot of people can relate to them being stressed. A lot of people can relate to them being overwhelmed. A lot of people can relate to working 12 hours a day, right? But again, you named a lot of them, but those three are perfect. But I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through it.
Paycheck to paycheck, week
Paycheck to paycheck, that's four.
in, week out.
Week in, week out, that's five.
Nothing would change if nothing changes. It's as simple as that. And I wanted to earn more from the comfort of my own home so that I could sort out my mortgage, so that I could sort out my heating bill, so that I could sort out my car maintenance. And I knew that working in a job, it wasn't the answer. But I wanted to earn from the comfort of my own home and I wanted to have the money.
Okay, so the only and so this is what I mean by like you're long-winded. So your video is a minute and 17 seconds, and we're 44 seconds into the video, and you're still focusing on the pain points, which is good. But what we want to do, we don't want to spend 44 seconds focusing on the pain points. We want to we want to spend about 7 seconds focusing on that, right? So when you did the video started good with the hook, hey, you let them know who you are, boom, you jump right into the pain points. So when you get the like you when you're like, prime example, I must go back.
Video for later. It slips in my heart. I want you to follow, like, and save this video for later. I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was working 12 hours in a job that I didn't like.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. When you was like, I was stressed, I was overwhelmed, and I was working 12 hours at a job I didn't like. Those three right there is perfect. You don't even have to say anything else. That right there are three relatable pain points that 98% of the country can relate to. Those are great pain points. Now, there's a part where I'm gonna show you what you could have said after this. Give me a second.
Working paycheck to paycheck, week in, week out. Nothing would work from the comfort of my own.
Okay, so when you was like you were stressed, overwhelmed, and working 12 hours a day, living paycheck to paycheck, right? And you just wanted something, I think you said something about you wanted to work from the comfort of your home. Okay, that right there, that's probably like a 10-second gathering right there. Then what you wanted, what you should have done, or what you can do, what I want you to do, once you say that, then you want to go into saying, hey, when did you find the legacy of Philip?
Life gallery. It was at the very end of May
Okay, so you want to
last
say,
year.
okay, great. So after you say, hey, you were stressed, you were overwhelmed, you're working 12 hours, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you just wanted to work from the comfort of your own home, right? Okay, that's all perfect. And now with that little part, which takes about 10 seconds to say, then you want to go off into it wasn't until back here around May of last year or May of 2004. So now you're going right into how the basically what is in the process of solving that situation. There were some parts where you just kept on running on. And so again, those are all good. Those are all good, but I'm just trying to get you to shorten that so that you can get a lot of the what I like to call easing the pain. I mean, lowering the anxiety points into your content. So you got that hook. Once you say, "Hey, I just wanted to work from the comfort of my own home," and it wasn't until that's when you let them know when you found the program, and it wasn't until May of last year that I stumbled across this blueprint. Right. So let me
Own home so that I could sort out my mortgage, so that I could sort out my heating bill, so that I could sort out my car maintenance. And I knew that working in a job, it wasn't the answer. But I wanted to earn from the comfort of my own home and I wanted to have the money there so that I could pay all these bills. And guess what?
see you're long-winded. You see, and I'm gonna show you. And again, this is why we're here. And these are all good. These are all good. You're painting a picture. You're just trying to compress it a little bit because you want to get some of the key things in there that's really going to help ease the audience's mind, right?
I found something that worked. It was an online proven blueprint, it was proven to work.
Okay, right here, where you're like, so you're like, you found this online proven blueprint that's proven to work. So instead of saying that, say something like, it wasn't until back here And it wasn't until back here in May of last year or May of 2020, 24 that I came across this proven blueprint, right? So it wasn't until back here in May of 2024 that I came across this proven blueprint, right? And so when you tell them, when you say that, Philip, now what you want to do is you want to let people know, hey, so they're going to be like, when you say you don't found this proven blueprint, so your audience is thinking like, okay, so what's up with this proven blueprint? And so what you're going to let them know is like with this proven blueprint, I'm learning these high income skills. So you're letting them know what you're learning. So you're learning high income skills. So you're leading them, Philip. You're letting them know what you're learning. So you're like, I'm learning these high income skills. And then what you want to do, you're letting them know what you're doing with the program. And what I mean by that is you're letting them know now that you learn these high income skills, you've been able to build an online business using social media to attract customers. You're letting them know the skills, you don't develop these skills, right? Now you've been able to build you an online business and attract customers using social media. And now what you're going to do, you're going to ease the anxiety a little bit. You're going to let them know, you know, and I don't have to get on the phone with anyone, or I don't even have to speak to anyone, right? So all you're doing, because people think you got to get on the phone and you got to talk to them for 30 minutes. No, introverts don't do that. So you got to picture your audience as an introvert. So when you say, hey, I've learned these high income skills, and now I've been able to take these skills and I've been able to build me an online business using social media and attract customers. And I don't have to get on the phone with anybody or speak to anybody. And then you let them know, and they're going to know. Well, the reason is, well, and the whole point is, when you say you don't have to get on the phone and speak to nobody, they're going to be like in their mind thinking like, well, why you don't have to do that? How are you getting sales? How are you getting customers? Well, because I have an automated business. So you're letting them know, hey, you don't have to get on the phone. You're able to attract customers using social media, and you don't have to speak to anybody or get on the phone because your business is automated, right? And then what you
Right.
want to do, Philip, now what you want to do, you want to let them know what you love about this program. What do you love? What do you like? And that's when you're like, and what I love that it only required me 2 hours a day to learn these skills, right? So you're letting them know because people are working 8 to 16 hours a day at a job that they don't even like, a job that's got them still broke and struggling and can't afford to pay their bills. So you're painting a picture. Hey guys, look, it only require me 2 hours a day to learn how to do this,
Yeah.
right? And now this is where you're easing the anxiety because uh people think you got to have a Taylor Swift type of following. You got to come from money. You got to be all tech savvy. So when you say, "Hey, it only requires me 2 hours a day to learn these skills," and I'm not tech savvy because I get this once a day. Hey, people say, "Hey, Darrell, so I don't have no tech skills. Do you have to be tech savvy?" That's my number one rebuttal. So you're going to get that. So what you want to do, you want to erase all the rebuttals before they even ask you. You're like,
Is the solution that I'm given in my video no good then? I
no,
mean,
no, 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 no. I'm just trying to enhance I'm no, no. The hook, everything is good. I'm just trying to get you to get some of these key points in there that your audience needs to hear so that they can reach out to you and ask you. Because see, if you just keep saying, guys, I found this blueprint and and this and that, and so if you like to learn more information, that's good. But now what we want to do, we want to go levels deep. We want to paint a picture in their mind. And when you say, look, guys, it only requires me 2 hours a day to learn these skills. And I'm not tech savvy because people think you have to be tech savvy, Philip, to do this business. People think that you have to have experience. You got to have a big old social media following. And you don't. So I say those because you're lowering the anxiety. They need to hear those things because
yeah,
then
but sorry, I thought I was saying those. That's what I'm thinking. I
you
thought I
didn't.
was saying
Yeah, you
those.
didn't. Well, you didn't say it in this video. I'm just going off of
All
this
right.
video, right? So you just want to let people know, hey, guys, I love this. I love the fact that it only requires me 2 hours a day to learn how to do this, and I didn't have to have no tech skills and no experience and no following. Those three things right there, it calms people's nerves, and then a light switch pops up in their ear, in their head, and they're like, "Okay, hold up. So I ain't gotta have no experience. I ain't gotta have no tech skills. Man, let me check this out. I may be able to do this, right? That's all we want. But you got to paint that picture. When you share your story, you're painting a picture to your audience, right? So as you talk, they're visualizing everything that you're saying, right? And so again, when you say that, hey, it only required me 2 hours a day, guys, it's not long, just 2 hours a day to learn these high income skills. I don't have to have no tech skills, no experience, no following, right? And then what you do now, you're going in for the what I like to call the landing spot. And that's where you're painting the destination. So you always want to paint the destination. And now, because of this 2 hour workday, because of this blueprint, I now have more time to do the things that I want. I now no longer, in your case, I no longer have to work those 12-hour days. I'm no longer stressed. See, what you're doing, you're letting them know that this is the solution. This solution now, because it's blueprint, you don't have to work, even if you are. Even if you were working doing this on a job, you're painting a picture of the destination because that's what the legacy builder does. It's going to get you out of working those 10, 12-hour days. It's going to get you from being stressed because your system is going to allow you to earn an income that's going to keep you from not, you don't have to be stressed. So you're painting that picture to your audience. Now, guys, because of this blueprint, I have more time. First of all, you always want to say you got more time because you have a 2 hour schedule because you can get your 2 hours of income producing activities done in 2 hours. And so you're like, now I have more time to do the things that I want. I'm not stressed. I no longer have to work 12 hours a day, right? And because of that, also my business is out there working for me in the background. So it's just these little added things I want you to start adding into your content because what it's going to do is going to have more people asking you for information because you done painted a picture of, hey, okay, I don't have to have none of this. So I'm going to be able to learn this. Let me check this out. Curiosity pays. We just want them to ask for information, right? So when you break that down, you're just going to open yourself up for more people saying, "Hey, can you give me some information? What is that? You have a website?" They're going to ask you that. And so again, the video is not bad. You got some good hooks. You're just kind of long-winded in the beginning, and then you go straight into, hey, I found this program, but you didn't let them know what it taught you. You didn't let them know what you like about it. They want to know what you like about it. So why did you
Yeah,
join?
it's funny. Maybe in that video, I didn't go into everything, but I do in a
I
lot of
worked it,
videos.
and you didn't need to be technical.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, Philip.
No, maybe in that video, I didn't go into all those things, but I'm very, very conscious of that, and I do that in a lot of the
Okay.
videos.
Yeah, I
Uh,
want you to always be, I want you to get into a habit where you're all of your videos, in most of your videos, you want to because when you do a video, you're getting new people every time. You're getting new people
yeah.
every time. So you want to get it could be somebody, you done 8 videos where you could get somebody who's just now seeing that video. So you want to always be letting people know, hey, you don't have to have no experience or no tech skills, no following. You don't need any of that. And you always paint the destination. You always
So
paint.
as you say with the main body with my story, say the same story. The only thing that changes really, as you say, is the hook. So I
Yes.
continue to do that then, yeah.
Yes. See, and until you get to the point where you got it, you got your story packed down, then you can attack when you're sharing your content, you don't even have to start with your story. You can just start with the pain points, right? Like when this one, the pain points are a part of your story. But what I mean by that is like you can attack it from a different way, right? And you could be like, are you tired of working 10, 12 hours a day? Are you stressed? Do you not have any time with your family? Are you behind on your mortgage? That was me, right? And also what I want you to do, like what type of work when you were doing all this, what type of work did you do, Philip?
Well, with my last, mostly I was involved in sales, but the last job that I was in was 12-hour shifts. I was working in a cheese factory. I was just working, automations basically.
Gotcha. Okay, so what you want to be saying, you want to say, for and how long did you work? How long did you work there?
It was just 4 years.
Okay, so you can be like, for 4 years, I worked in a factory. stressed out, 12 hours a day, behind on my bills, right? You're painting a picture. You're letting them know, hey guys, for 4 years, I worked at a cheese factory, right? You don't have to say cheese factory if you don't, but you can because guess what? There's probably people that you can who can relate to you who work at cheese factories. So you're like, hey, for 4 years, I worked at a cheese factory. The story, painting the picture, the image, the visualization is everything. For 4 years, I worked at a cheese factory, 12 hours a day. I was stressed. I was behind on all my bills, right? And I just wanted to make some enough. I just wanted to I just wanted to work from home and make enough money to be able to pay my mortgage comfortably or whatever. I mean, you're painting a picture, right? And then, so that right there can take like 10 seconds. And then, and it wasn't until back here in May of 2024 that I came across this blueprint. And what I love about this blueprint, I'm learning these high income skills where I've been able to take these skills and build me an online business where I'm able to use social media and attract customers. And I don't even have to talk to no one or get on the phone with anyone. And the reason for that is because I have an automated business. But what I love the best also is the fact that it don't require me 2 hours a day to learn these skills. And I don't have to have no tech skills. I didn't need no experience or no following. And now, because of this, I have more time with my family. I'm not stressed anymore. I don't have to work those long hours, right? And my business, because it's automated, is out there working for me in the background. And then that's when you hit them with the CTA. Hey, if you'd like to learn more about this blueprint that I'm following, that's allowing me to work from home and earn income online, then just put the word details in the comments or the word blueprint. So I just want you, the video is good. It's just long-winded with you're trying to you're really trying to press the point, and I see that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want you to you don't have to press it, right? So again, the video is it's a good video. It's just missing some key points that I want you to start putting in there that's going to have more people asking you for information. So instead of like focusing like 40 minutes on the pain points and painting that picture, don't even worry about it. Just hit it quick. Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, for 4 years I worked at a cheese factory, 12 hours a day. I was stressed. I was behind on my bills. There's a lot of people, Philip, who are dealing with that in the world right now. That's relatable content.
What I've been doing is this last no way you talk about doing something for 2 weeks before you change anything. So it's only started what this is Wednesday. It's only started on Monday there that I've added more pains because people talk about pain is everything. So I've been adding more pain. So I've been just it's just been another video. It's been another method I've been trying another strategy that I've been trying out. So
Yeah, and there's the wrong. Well, I'm gonna say what you want to do. You just want to focus on like 3 to 4 solid pain points in most of all of your videos. You want to focus on
yeah.
about 3 to 4 good solid ones. When you say, "Man, I was stressed," that's a good one. When you say I was working 12 hours a day, I was behind on my bills. Those three right there is powerful because a lot of people are all three of those: stressed, behind on their bills, and if they ain't working 12 hours a day, they're working 10 or 8. Either way it goes, those are pain points. And when you're like, I just wanted to work from home, you're painting a picture. I just wanted to work from home. I wanted to be able to pay my mortgage, right? I didn't want to be behind on my bills. And it wasn't until, see, when you say that, they already know that you're looking. They already know. You don't have to be like, oh, I went looking. And you can say that, but they already know, right? And so I just wanted to pay my bills. And it wasn't until back here in in May of last year, that I stumbled across this daily paid blueprint, or I got introduced to digital marketing, and I came across this blueprint. And now let them know what you're learning. I'm learning these high income skills. And now let them know what you've done with those skills. And now I've been able to take these skills up, and now I've been able to build me an online business where I've been able to use social media because everybody's on it to attract customers. And I don't even have to speak to nobody or get on the phone because I have an automated business. And I love that it don't require me 2 hours a day. Because people ask me, Darrell, how long does it take? So how long would I have to work to do it? These are all questions that you have to know that they're going to ask you. So
Well,
I love,
Darrell, can I ask you this? See, before I post the video, I would comment, I would watch the video, I would like it, and I would comment on 5 to 10 people before I post. Is that the done thing? No, I mean you
You don't
just
need that. I was on a training the other day and someone said that. They was like, "Are you not doing that?" I'm like, "No, I got almost 100,000 followers and I never done that ever." You don't have to do that. Like people keep saying that. Listen, when you've got relatable content and the algorithm knows exactly, and that's why you want to get in the habit of focusing in on the same pain points until you have mastered your story. Then you can attack it from different ways. But you want to keep on saying that so the algorithm can know who to push your content out to. Like I would be using the same hooks. I mean, not hooks. I'll be using the same hashtags for like 10 straight days to get an idea what the algorithm wants to push your. You want to get bored saying your content. And then when you do that, the algorithm will pick up and be like, okay, I know exactly where to take where to put I know exactly who the people I need to put Philip's content in front of, right? So get in the habit of saying, hey, instead of just saying, you work 12 hours a day, let them know where. Hey guys, for 4 years, I worked 12 hours a day in a cheese factory. I was stressed out. I was behind on all my bills and I just wanted to stay home. I just want to work from home, I want to be able to comfortably pay my mortgage. I want to be able to comfortably pay my bills. You're painting a picture because it's a stressful. You're opening those wounds and pouring salt in them because people can relate to that. That's what they need to hear. And when you let them know you found this program back in May of last year, now you're learning these. You found this blueprint. You're learning these high income skills, and now you've been able to start you an online business, and you're using social media to attract customers, and you don't have to speak to nobody because your business is automated and you only work 2 hours a day to learn these. You didn't have to have no experience and no tech skills and no following. And now you paint the destination. Now, because of this, guys, I'm able to spend more time doing the things that I want to do. I'm not stressed. I don't have to work those long 12-hour days, right? And my business is automated. And then you hit them with the CTA. All right.
brilliant. Thank you so much, Darrell.
Absolutely.
I've taken
Uh,
a lot of notes there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I'm here, man, to help you guys. Let me see. I ain't even looked in the comments to see if anybody had anything. Jeff said this. Can I say that I was emotionally and physically? Yes, you can, Rochelle. She said, can I say that I was emotionally and physically stressed? Yes. You want to be saying that because guess what? A lot of people can relate to that. That's what jobs do. They stress you out emotionally. They damn like yes, you want to focus on that because a lot of people can relate to emotional stress. Really, women, right? So yes, Rochelle, you definitely want to say that if you were guys, whatever you were in your content, I mean, whatever you were in those jobs or whatever you were doing before you found this, you want to say that that's where you're going to connect with the people. So if Rochelle was a nurse and she's like, man, for 14 years, I was a nurse. I was stressed out. I was emotionally stressed. Like I was drained working those 12 hours, 6 to 6. She's painting that picture. And then guess what? When she create that content and she keeps sharing her story, people are going to be like, man, my job got me stressed too. Hey, I was a nurse too. I'm working them hours right now. It don't even matter if they was a nurse. If she said, man, I was tired of working those 12-hour rotating shifts, it could be somebody who's a factory worker say, man, I can relate. I'm working those 12-hour rotating shifts. They ain't no nurse, but they working those hours. She could be emotionally stressed at her nursing job. You could be someone who works at a zoo and be like, man, I can relate. This zoo got me so emotional, got my nerves wrecked. Relatable content, guys. That's
So,
where, and then when you get to talking, then you're going to when you're leading them with the pro about you found this blueprint, right? Or you found this program, guys. They're going to ask you for information because you have you have connected with them. They think that they're the only people who's emotionally stressed. Rochelle, they think they're the only person that's emotionally stressed, but they're not. But when they hear you say it, then they have a connection. Like, oh shoot, hey, I can. Hey, what is that? Hey, what is that? Because they don't want to deal with that. And you got the blueprint. And when you share those stories and those pains, guys, that's where they're going to ask you for information because they want to know. They don't want to deal with that stuff, right?
Oh, so Darrell, I
Huh?
worked I worked at a hospital in a psychiatric lockdown facility for 23 years.
Good Lord. I'd be loony too.
Yeah,
You know?
so that's why I asked about the emotional
Yes, yes.
stress and all. So, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're sharing your story, you want to be like, man, for 23 years I worked in a psychiatric hospital or whatever. And and I was emotionally drained. I was so stressed. People are going to be able to relate to you big time, Miss Rochelle, because they're going to be like, when you say you don't work at a psychiatric place, that speaks for itself. You got to be a different type of person to be able to work in those type of environment, that type of condition. But the thing about it, as you continue to create your content, you're going to reach people who work in psychiatric places, right? You're going to people. You're going to reach people who can relate to what you're saying because either they're doing it or they have other jobs and they're emotionally stressed, right? So
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
picture you want to paint. You want to be letting people know what you used to do or what you're doing, right? But yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
I didn't know if Colette had a Colette. Did you have a question?
You just blew my mind watching you talk to Philip because here I am wondering, what am I doing wrong? What? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm getting ready to cry. 7 months, I'm wondering why I'm not making income
Yeah.
because I was being superficial. I was thinking it was based on content, and it's not. It's about my story, for God's
Everything,
sakes.
guys.
What brought me to the legacy? And I'm like, oh my God, that's all you got to talk about. I'm getting ready to cry because I was like, it was sitting in front of me this whole time,
Yeah.
and I just missed it. And it just hit me like, okay, now we know why you're not getting the engagement
Yes.
you are seeking.
Guys, I'm gonna take
Because you weren't talking about the pain. You see, I'm crying. The pain that took me to the legacy. And once I think I show them that, because they can see that I go over my videos all the time. And when I'm getting ready to post it, I'm like, okay, I set it up in the draft, it's ready. I post it, and then I look at it and I say, you know what? Why didn't I see that before I drafted it? And now I know because I wasn't being genuine.
well, yeah.
I was basing it on content
Well,
from a script.
your story is content, but this is what I want you guys to understand. You're talking to an audience, and if you're kind of prime example, um, who done made $2,000 in 1 month, whether you have a job or anything. Anybody ever made $2,000 in 1 month? Okay, so Colette
No.
has, Liz has. Most people have made at least 2,000. Now, how many people have made $30,000 in 1 month? So nobody can relate to that with me except for just me by myself. So if I get on there and I'm like, yeah, I made 38,000, they're gonna be like, there's no my point is you guys can't relate to it because you guys haven't made that income yet, right? But we've all made 2,000. So when you share your stuff, when you share something and they can relate to it, that's where the connection is at. See, when I say we
Yeah, but I get stuck because I haven't made any sales.
I know
So
that,
I'm
but you're
like,
in your
how
head
do
though,
I prove
Colette.
to them that the program works other than the wins?
Listen, I know this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. They don't care if you made money or not. This guys,
Okay.
listen, I'm doing a training right now I'm working on a value module is locked. And that's the first thing I'm talking about is what not to focus on is money. Guys, if you
Okay.
focus on just money in this business, you're going to quit. You're going to get
No, it's not that.
frustrated.
I'm saying, what if I be thinking what they thinking?
No,
You
no,
feel
no.
me?
You're thinking
What
what
I
you're
think they're
thinking.
thinking. Well, show me the proof.
No, no, it don't. Listen, I've been on live and took people inside of my bank account and showed them me making 25, $30,000 a month. Guess what? They still never joined because that means nothing. Because first of all, they don't even think they can make that anyway, which they can, but they don't. I'm
Okay.
trying to get you to understand that the only thing that matters is
Mhm.
you letting people know. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna show you something. So when did you join the program, Miss?
July 2nd, 2024.
Okay, so July of last year.
I
What?
almost bought from you in February last year.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So check this out. I want to ask you a question. So what was going on? What were you doing before? Why
I
did you
was
come on
stressed
here?
out. I was worried half to death because all I was fearing was homelessness.
Okay,
If they
so
mess
what?
with my Social Security, I'm going to be homeless. Dear God, I've been homeless twice before. I don't want to go back there. I start with that, but then I get lost.
Okay. This is why we're here. So what were you doing before you found the legacy program?
I
Were you
was
on like
working like a dog. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week delivering food in another state before I came to South Carolina.
okay, so what was that, like sales or something? Or what?
No, I was delivering
Distribution?
food, Grubhub, Dasher, Uber
Okay,
Eats,
so you were working. Okay, so you was
10,
working.
12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. I
How
had no
long?
time for nothing.
How long were you doing that?
Oh God, I no, that would be the last 2 years. The first
Okay.
3 years I was there, I had 7 different jobs.
Okay, so this is what I want you to see. Okay, so this is what you got to be saying. You got to be like, hey, when you do your hook, and you're like, hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Colette, and for for 2 years, for a little bit over 2 years or 2 years, I used to do delivery, working 60, 70 hours a week. You have to paint that picture.
Mhm.
You have to paint that, guys. We can get on here and be like, digital marketing. You can make 100% profit, and guys, they can go to YouTube
Yeah.
and type that up. They don't listen,
Okay.
guys. We have one goal here. We only have one goal. That's to
It's
get
to
the
bring him back.
audience to ask us for information. We want them to be like, hey, Colette, hey, hey, can you have a website? What, I want to take a look at that. They're gonna ask you for that when you start talking about, man, for 2 years I was delivery, I was working my 9 to 5, working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was stressed out. I was doggone like that's what they need to hear because guess what? Somebody gonna come in there like, man, I can relate. I work for the post office and I'm working them same hours. Man, I can do that too. I'm a nurse. I work from 8 to 8. I'm stressed out.
That's what I
Relatable,
did. I had a
relatable.
postal job. It was
Okay,
driving me nuts. I was
that's
working 7 different jobs, man.
okay, so this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You got to be when you say your hook and you let people know who you are. You don't have to do it in all your videos, but hey, go right into that. Hey, for the last 2 years, for 2 years, I worked as a postal delivery driver. Working 60, 70 hours a week. Whatever. I don't know how many days a week you work. Whatever, 5, 6 days a week. I was stressed out. I never had no time for anything. You want to focus on three things. Prime example. So you say you work 60 to how many hours you work? 50 to 60?
To be quite honest, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week if I
Okay, so you
could.
work 60 to 80 hours a week. How many days a week?
Six, usually six,
6 days
sometimes
a week.
7,
Man, that right there is enough to drive folks nuts. Like that's
because
two
I
good
was
pain
also
points.
trying to pay off $100,000 worth of debt so that I can get the house that I'm in now.
Okay,
That was
so
the whole purpose.
so you work so for 2 years you worked as a delivery driver, working 60 to 80 hours a week, 6 days a week, sometimes seven. What else did you not like? Did you like what okay, so why?
Oh, I did security for concerts.
No,
I did
no.
food
I'm
preparation for
not. We don't
concerts.
even have to go there. I'm talking about just what else did you not like about that job? Like what else was it
Oh my
outside of
God,
working?
I was a prisoner to my car. The car maintenance was astronomical. I was getting oil changes every 2 weeks. So you think you're making like $800 a week, but in essence, you're really only making 550 because after they take out the taxes because you're single, you feel me? You're working
Correct.
860, but you're bringing home 550, and you're still like Jesus Christ. I only got 6 hours to get some sleep, fix some food, and wash my butt and do it all over again. It
Okay,
was one
so
of the most.
this is your story is really simple, but it's powerful. So, in a nutshell, for 2 years, you was a delivery driver working 60 to 80 hours a week, sometimes 6 to 7 days a week. I was overworked, I was underpaid, I never had time to do anything. And I knew that if I didn't get out of this cycle and find something else, that you could say, hey, I knew that if I didn't get out this cycle, that not only you could say something like, "Hey, if I knew that if I didn't get out this cycle, that it was going to affect my health." Right? You could say anything because guess what? When I was working 60, 70 hours a week as a welder, guess what? I had my cholesterol was through the roof, my blood pressure was through the roof.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about all types of stuff, man. My weight was up and down. All
Hmm.
things that's
And I
fine
was
with me
smoking
now.
cigarettes. I was smoking cigarettes too. That's when the
So,
doctor told me, you either give up the cigarette or you're gonna give up your life.
so your story is really simple. So hey, for 2 years, I worked as if you call it, I don't know if it's called a delivery
It's
driver.
more like 7 years because I did other
Okay,
things to
great.
culminate to the last 2 years. That first 5 years, I was working 7 different jobs.
Okay, so
And
for
I'm not kidding you. 3 of them were temp agencies. And when they call, you didn't come, you didn't get any gigs. So they always relied on me because I would always show up. I don't care how tired I was. Some days I didn't get no sleep.
Okay, great. So again, your story is really simple. Hey, for 7 years, I worked as a delivery driver, working 60, 70 hours a week, sometimes 6, 7 days a week. I was overworked, underpaid. My check always seemed short. And I knew that if I didn't find something else, I knew that this was I was probably gonna work myself into the ground, or I probably was gonna be. It could, you could say you just all you're doing is painting a picture. You got a great story. Now you may think it's nothing, but when you talk about working 60 to 80 hours a week, that's pain. When you talk about working
I was
six,
so
seven
used
days a
to
week,
doing it because I'm a soldier. So I kind of, in my head, I was like putting beyond expectations on my ability to keep
I know,
going.
I know, but I'm talking about what you want to be saying in your content, though, Miss Collette,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
You have got to say this. You got to say this, guys.
I thought
Yeah,
nobody gave a damn, to be honest,
but you
because
don't.
I
But your
figured we
audience
all doing
does.
it. So what the
I
hell?
I
That
know.
ain't nothing new to nobody.
It's new, but it ain't that it's new for them. They're looking for answers, though. They don't want to be doing it. They're doing it because they have to do it. And we're here to let them know that they don't have
Okay.
to do it. Right. So when
Okay.
they hear
Okay.
you say, hey, for 7 years, I was a delivery driver working 6, 7 days a week, 60 to 80 hours a week. I was underpaid. I was overworked. And every time I got my check, it just seemed like hell. It went to all taxes. I have nothing. And I knew that if I didn't get out this cycle, it was going to completely, it was going to ruin my health. It could be you could say anything like that.
Mhm.
And then it wasn't until June of 2024 that I actually came across this blueprint. That right there can be 8 seconds of a minute to a minute and a half video. 8 seconds,
Okay.
right to the pain points. Because guess what? You got 3 seconds to catch them. When they scrolling, your hook could be, are you tired of working 60, 80 hours a week? Hey
Okay.
guys, if you're new here, I'm Colette. And for 7 years, I worked as a delivery driver doing just that 60, 80 hours a week, 6, 7 days a week. I was stressed out. I was overworked. I was underpaid. And I used to get my check and I'm looking at my check thinking, like, what the hell is this? Right?
That's
I knew
exactly how I
that if
felt.
I didn't find a way to get out of this cycle, I was going to work myself to death. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until July of 2024 that I actually came across this blueprint, right? Or it wasn't until July of 2024 that I actually stumbled across digital marketing and I found this blueprint. And then you let them know what you're learning. Guys, what I've learned with this blueprint, I've learned these high income skills where I've been able to take these skills and build me an online business using social media. And I don't even have to speak to nobody. And the reason being is because I have an automated business. And I love that it only required me 2 hours a day to learn these skills. And I don't have no tech skills, no experience, no following. And now, because of this, guys, I have more time to do the things that I want to do. I'm not stressed. I don't have to work those 60 to 80 hours a week no more, those 6, 7 days a week. And because my business is automated, it's out there working for me in the background. Boom.
Wow.
And then you hit them
It's
with
just
the
flowing. I see it. It's flowing.
well, you're leading them when you say that. You got them locked in when you say, are you tired of working 60 to 80 hours a week? They're gonna be like this. Okay, hold up now. What we got here? What look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right? They're gonna want to know. See, you gotta
Okay.
understand, guys. To us, it's normal. To them, it's normal.
Yeah.
But they're not. There's nobody at a job worked up and said, "Whoa, I can't wait to work 60 to 80 hours this week, man. Whoa, I'm hyped up." No, they hate it. So
No.
they need,
Yeah.
they're looking for answers, and they think going to get a part-time job on top of working 60 to 80 hours a week is the answer. Because when you're working 60 to 80 hours a week, you ain't go, they go over three-fourths of that overtime is going out the door to taxes. That's why you can get a check and you done gross for the week, I don't know,
900.
1300 and the check 780,
Exactly.
right?
That's what I lived.
So just working yourself in the ground. That's how I was when I was welding, you know? So again, that's your story, Colette. And once you want to just say that 1,000 times, like nobody knows your story but you. Just tell the people what you was experiencing. Man, tell them what you did. People join people who they like, know, and trust, who they can relate to, right? They want to know who you are. When a person come to your videos, they should know who you are, what you do, or what you used to do. So if they just come to your videos and you're talking about digital marketing, they don't even know who you are. They ain't got no idea what you
They
do.
don't
Like
stay long.
they just gonna keep scrolling. But when you was like, man, for 7 years, I worked as a delivery driver. Guys, you're painting a picture of relatability. You're letting them know, hey, I am a real person. I know this sounds cliche, but guys, this stuff is huge in the online space. It's the little stuff. Hey, for six,
Okay.
7 years, I worked as a delivery driver. I was working 60 to 80 freaking hours a week, 6, 7 days a week. Stressed the hell out, underpaid, overworked. And every time I got
Unhealthy.
hit, I mean, I would just be like, start using hand motions, like I'm taught all type of stuff. And I knew that if I didn't get out of this cycle, that I was literally going, it was literally going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was looking, it wasn't until back here in July of last year that I stumbled across this program, this blueprint. And I have taken I'm learning these high income skills where I've been able to build an online business using social media. And I don't have to
But
talk to nobody.
okay, I understand that. But mine is a little different because I really found it in February
Okay, well, say
with
February.
Michelle. But then I dismissed it. I was like, nobody making that kind of money of no damn digital
It
marketing.
doesn't,
And
okay.
I dismissed it. And then a month later, I found you. You popped up on YouTube. And I'm like, damn, what he talking about sound familiar. So I went back to Michelle's page and I sat there for 4 months. And then my birthday was coming up. And I remember things she was saying. And I was like, when are you going to take action? What are you waiting for? All you got to do is buy the damn program. So I went into the afterpay because I couldn't afford the lump 900, but I wanted the whole thing. And I joined the afterpay. Now it's paid for. I still ain't making no money, but now I know why, because I've been superficial and people can see right through that. So now I'm focusing. I'm going to refocus today. Stop this making video crap from content and just do
Well,
videos, with the TikTok and then edit them because I'm getting much better with that. And I'm going to because they're going to see the difference in me.
they got
They're
to
going
hear
to
your
see
story, guys.
the change.
They
I
got to hear
just
your
didn't think it
story.
was important to people, to be quite honest with
Well,
you.
how are they going to relate to you, Miss Colette, if you don't think it's important to you, to them? They're like you. They're trying to get out of these people are not waking up saying, "Whoo, boy, I'm telling you what, today gonna be a good day. I got to work 12 hours and be away from my family. I'm only gonna see my kids for about 30 minutes today, but that's okay. I don't, as long as I'm trading my time for dollars. I know I get paid on Friday, but that check's already gone, but I'm still excited to come to work." No,
Exactly.
they're not. So they need you to say the stuff that you're going through so that they can relate to you and be like, oh,
Okay.
no. She's experiencing the same thing I'm going to. And then when you talk about this, man, I found this blueprint. They're going to ask you for information.
Okay.
Guys,
All
they're
right.
going to ask you.
All right.
They're
Okay.
serious. Like, hold up. You was working the same hour. No, you ain't doing that now. Now you have a 2 hour. So what? Hold up. What? Can I check that out? As you show up, they'll show up. Guys,
Okay.
listen. The key to this business is your story. That's where they're going to relate to you. If they, I
Okay.
don't listen. You can get online. You could be making 100 grand a month. To my, ooh, this month I made 100 grand, guys. To learn more information, they ain't nobody asking you for no information at all. You know why? Because in their mind, you done told them you made 100 grand in 1 month. In their mind, they're programmed to work for 16 to $20 an hour. Ain't no way in hell they gonna think you made 100 grand. They gonna be like, man, she's a scammer, man. I'm finna block her. But when you share your story, though, when you leave them, you're opening yourself up. They're letting them know, hey, I'm just a regular person like you guys. Look here, I worked there for 7 years. I was a delivery driver, right? Or for 2 years, I worked in whatever Philip say he did, right? You gotta paint that picture.
Cheese factory. Hmm.
Yes, for 2 years, I worked at a cheese factory, 12 hours a day. I was stressed. I was behind on my bills, and I just wanted to stay home. I wanted to work from home. I wanted to be able to make enough money to pay my mortgage on time. I got tired of it being late. And it wasn't until July of last year that I came across this blueprint. Guys, for 10, 12 years, I mean, for 14 years, I worked a job as a welder, 10, 12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. I was stressed out. I never saw my kids. I was behind on all my bills. I was up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do. And then I got fired from that job, a job I gave everything to. And it wasn't until back here last year in January of 2024 that I got introduced to this program, this blueprint. And I've learned these high income skills. I've taken these skills. I've been able to build a daily paying business, guys, where I'm able to attract customers using social media. I don't even have to talk to nobody, right? So you will learn how to, as you get ready to, as you continue to master your story, which is reps, 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 guys, reps, reps, reps. That is the key. That is the key. Repetitions. You should be memorizing your story until you blue in the face, right? And it sounds normal. And then once you get it down, then you can start doing stuff like hand gestures. Like, man, I was stressed the hell out. Like, because that stuff, man, I'm telling you, it paints a whole different picture. And then you can start using like highs and lows in your voice, right? Instead of sounding like a robot, like, man, for 12 hours. I mean, I work 12 hours a day, man, 6, 7 days a week. They gonna look at
I'm
you
high
like, what
strung.
the
I'm
frick
high
is
strung.
this?
When I do my videos or I do my lives, I'm already high strung because that's
Yeah,
who I am.
I know, but see, again,
But
but you want to be sharing it. You want to be sharing that story, right,
okay.
guys?
Okay. Thank you.
I'm getting this is the cheat code, man. I
And
wish
thank you for your
I,
help on the emails
absolutely.
yesterday.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's a good place. Like anytime you want to know, when you send out a newsletter and you want to know, oh, if it's delivering, all you got to do is log into your system, go to the emails, click on newsletter, and it'll let you know who done clicked on it, what percent is that, and everything.
Can I ask you though, when I go to email campaigns, it says the legacy thing 3 through 26 in the parentheses. When I go to create, I'm creating new emails. Sometimes I don't see where they're going. Like my stuff will not generate.
Well,
So the last
okay, so this is what you want to do. So if you're trying to create a newsletter, just go to newsletter. Click on
That's what I did this morning. I just went to the
yeah,
newsletters,
just go to
created a new
newsletter.
newsletter for the webinar, and scheduled it out. And I said, "Well, why were you sitting here all this time, racking your brain about?" Because you said something about making 30 to 90 extra emails. How do I make extra emails
Well,
if
that's
they're
all in
not
the
letting
training
me?
though. That,
Okay,
that's
I
all
go
in the
back to the
training. But
training.
but you know
Okay.
what? You can go inside the community. You can go inside the digital growth community, and in the top where the search engine, you can type in newsletter, and then just hit enter, and it'll pop up all the videos on how to create a newsletter.
No, I got that. I don't have an issue with the newsletters. I'm saying I overthink stuff a lot of times.
Right.
So I know now if I have a question, just go back to the training, collect because I did it the other day when I wanted to change my capture page information and the thank you page information.
Right.
Now I will ask you another question, please.
Yeah, because I
How
want
do
to
you
get to
do that
Maria.
video?
Huh?
Huh?
I said yeah, because I want to get to Maria in a second. What
Okay,
is
how do you get to how did you make that video to put in there to replace Michelle's video?
Oh, easy.
I
Just
mean, I know how, but what did you make the video on
oh, I just
YouTube?
I use a video recorder called Screen Pal, right? So
Oh,
it's just it ain't no different than from Loom. You can just do more on Screen Pal, right? So I use Screen
okay,
Pal,
screen.
make the short video, I save it, upload it to YouTube unlisted, and then
Okay.
once I share it unlisted, I just take the link and then I go in and remove Michelle's video and put mine.
Thank
There you
you.
go. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Maria. Hold up.
Mm, Okay. Thank you for taking me. So my only question is, okay, I love the storytelling. For me, the biggest problem is the point of transformation, because I'm on the journey to transform my life. But for example, when you said, Anna, I found this program that is teaching me this, so that I can. And when I'm like, no, I don't, I, I cannot, because I'm like, I had to sacrifice everything. Like, I'm doing nothing. I'm on my family, and
I
like,
know,
I
but
don't.
like I know, but I know, but what you're doing, you're painting a picture of what the pro what you're so when you say you found the program and you're like, you're
Yeah,
learning these high income skills, that has nothing to do with where you're at in your life. You're just letting people know what the program is doing for you. Like, hey, when you share the reason why, like whatever your why is, like, oh, not your why, but whatever your story is, when you're letting people know, hey, I'm Maria, and whatever you decide to let them know, you just want to have pain points with that. And then it wasn't until whenever you joined, let's say you joined in August of last year, so it wasn't until August of last year that I came across this program, this blueprint, and I'm learning these high income skills, or I've developed these high income skills, and now I've been able to build me a business. You're letting them know what you're learning. I don't know who that is. You're letting them know what you're learning, and you're letting them know what you're doing with your learning, your education. I've learned these skills. Who's that? All right. You're letting them know that you learned these skills, and now you've been able to build a business using social media. Everybody's on social media. So now you've been letting them know, hey, these high income skills, I've been able to take these skills and build me an online business, right? Using social media. And I don't have to speak to nobody. I don't have to get on the phone with anybody because I have an automated business, right? You're painting a picture, guys. It's visualization is everything in this business. You have to paint the picture for them. You have to, because they're watching you. They're watching you. But when you get hitting them pain points, you got them then. And then you just got to just lead them. You're leading them.
yeah. One of the video I want to do, I did record couple of them about my story today, and but I didn't post it. I just put it on a draft. I don't think I'm able to show you, because I actually would love. Maybe I will post it, and then when we do it, another
Okay.
I will
Well,
show you.
that's fine. Like, listen, yeah. I mean, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Like, guys, let me tell you
Show
something.
it now, Maria. You
You
have
want
to
to,
change
hold up. You want to
that
be,
mindset.
you want to be, you guys, you got to be open to I'm not here to critique anybody, whatever. I'm here to help you get better, right? Because I know there are certain things in your content that you want to be saying, because when you say those things, that's how you're going to draw people. That's the connection, guys. The connection is the pain. The connection is the pain points, and your audience, they want to know that they're not the only person who's dealing with that. You don't know what they're. That's why you're only going to attract your ideal customer. You're gonna attract them off of the pain that you're talking about. That's where the
Yeah,
relatability comes in.
I was talking about had to go back home after years of being away, and because I lost my job, I was trying to build an online business, but I lost everything. So because I was doing it all wrong, essentially. In a, and when my friends introduced me to this program, like, it's been the biggest blessing, because I'm learning actually how to build from scratch as
Why
completely
did you why
beginner.
did you why did you join the pro why did you join? What was going on in your life that made you was like, look, I'm gonna join this
Well,
program.
when I lost my job, the
What were
three
you what
first,
were you doing, Maria? What type of job did you have?
I was nanny.
I'm sorry?
I was nanny. Nanny.
Nanny?
I was
Okay.
a nanny. I was working 17 hours also during COVID. I was working 17 hours per day 7 days a week. I was like, I was on a, yeah, I was killing myself. And
Okay.
then I,
Let me stop you right there. If you aren't saying that in your content, you're missing out on all type of leads. You should be like, hey, for how long were you a nanny?
and for a nanny 2 years, but I worked on a childcare for my whole life, and I
Okay.
have been underpaid. So, yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna show you guys. I can
I
dissect
used to,
everybody's story
I
on
used
here
to
and
earn,
find the
I
pain in
used to,
everybody's story.
I
Because
used to earn 450 pound per week working like for 17 hours
and you
per
ain't even
day.
gotta
So I
say
was,
that. Listen, you can just be like, hey, for years, let's say you 2 years, three, you even gotta say, you can be like, hey, for years, when you use your hook, hey, guys, if you're new here, I'm Maria. And for years, I worked as a nanny for 17, I worked as a nanny 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was underpaid. I was stressed out, right? I was overworked. Common sense tell a person if I gotta work 17 hours, I'm overworked, guys. That's a no-brainer. Though, like that's there's so much pain in that little part right there. And again,
yeah.
it's all about how you're structuring it, guys. It's all about how you say. I think this is the biggest issue with everybody who has an issue trying to. They're like, oh, I don't know what my story is. Well, you have a story that can pay you $10,000 every month. It's all about how you put it together. You put it together by saying, hey, guys, if you're new here, I'm Maria, and I for years I worked as a nanny for 17 hours a day. We only got 24 in a day. How did you get any sleep? Right? So you're painting they get to see your story unfold between them. 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was stressed. You don't even have to tell me you were stressed. I know you were stressed. I was stressed. I was underpaid. I was overworked, right?
I was bullied.
That right there, you don't even have to say that hook right there. That right there is your whole story in a nutshell. Now, I know there's tons of other stuff you could add to that, but we don't even have to add nothing to that. You can just stay right there. And you can say something like, and I knew that if you're like, I was underpaid, I was stressed, I was overworked. And I knew that if I didn't get out of this cycle, it was going to literally kill me. Right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to, like, I cannot be mother naturally. I born with a very, very syndrome. And I need to go through IVF, and is in here is something that is not actually the ones I need to do is not allowed in Italy. So I knew that I had to pay with my money, and I will never be able to have the money to do that. To anyway, do anything,
Well, I
travel.
understand that. I know, but this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but like, you don't even need that.
Need to go to
No,
that.
no, you don't need any of that. You just all you need to do is just be like, hey, for years I worked as a nanny for 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was underpaid, I was overworked, I was stressed out. And I knew that if I didn't get out of this cycle, man, it wasn't gonna be good for me. And it wasn't until boom, whenever you found this program, Maria, let's say you found it in June of last year, and it wasn't until June of last year that I actually stumbled across this program in digital marketing. And
Do I
now,
need to say before the month? Because I'm
no,
ashamed.
no,
It's
you don't
actually
have to say
a
that.
year almost.
No, you could be like, hey, it wasn't until back here last year that I found this program. You just kind of like want to shed light on when you discovered the program. You don't have to be the exact time or date. You're like, hey,
Okay.
it wasn't until back here last year that I stumbled across this program or I got introduced to this program or I found this blueprint. And now, following this blueprint, I've developed these high income skills where I've been able to build me now an online business using social media. And I don't even have to talk to nobody or get on the phone with anybody because of my business is automated. And I don't even,
I think
yes.
I
So,
think this part of the story of my story is actually easier to tell than the fact that I had to go back home. I had to
yeah,
rely on
you
my
don't have to
parents.
say any of that.
It's painful. It's too painful also because there is also emotional and mental manipulation on this thing, and is actually the reason why it didn't work, because I was trying to go there, but it was too painful for me. And I think the fact that I was working 17 hours per day as nanny, and I realized that I couldn't stay there anymore because I wouldn't have the energies. I wouldn't have I wouldn't
And you,
have enough money for anything. So
exactly.
yeah,
And so my point is like, and see, like, let's say you do a live or something. See, you can go more in depth on your live if you want, talking about that because it's longer. But because TikTok is such a short form platform where a good video is 30 seconds to a minute and a half, you don't have to even worry about that. All you want, listen, again, guys, we just want them asking us for information. When you get to talking about working 17 hours a day and you was 7 days a week, man, that's worse than I was welding. I wouldn't even know what I would do. Like that right there, like I know you were broken, your body tired, you broke down, you're stressed out, you're underpaid. All those pain points the world can relate to. They're gonna be like, man, 17 hours, I'm working 12 hours. Man, I'm working 14 hours as a nurse. Relatable to content, right? I'm working 6 days a week myself. Relatable content. That's all, guys. It's just the pain that they're gonna relate to because they feel like, hey, it's not me. I'm not by myself. They're gonna want to know what you're doing, and they're gonna ask you for information. But you got to be talking about that in your videos.
it's better. I think it's better. It's just even
Yes.
easier for me. It's even easier for me to talk about it than the fact that I have to deal and I have to deal about all this. Maybe when I get more comfortable, more, then
Yes.
maybe I will be able to when I get in the other side, because right now it's something that is too painful for me, and
Okay.
it's
Yes.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have
Okay.
to you don't have to even worry about that, right? I'll just focus on letting them know, hey, you was a nanny for a few years, you nanny for years and you worked 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let them know how you felt, man. You were underpaid, you were stressed, you were overworked. They can all
Yeah.
those are all that's guys, that's it's simple. It's so and then
Yeah.
you get to the point, guys, where you can just create you can take your story and throw it in the chat GPT, and I'm gonna tell you, man, it'll just format that. You just be like, oh my God. Like it's just beautiful,
Yeah.
right? So
Because I was thinking to actually target people that are starting life from zero,
no,
because I did it lots of,
yeah, don't
but
guys,
it's
yeah, you don't all you gotta do is just focus on the pain, focus on sharing your pain points in your story. You're gonna attract, you ain't gotta worry about getting nobody. You're gonna attract who you're supposed to. Because guess what? They're going to be able to relate to what you're talking about. It
okay.
don't. It ain't no. Hey, well, when I ask people in my one-on-one coaching, I'm like, hey, so sometimes I ask myself, who's your target audience? Well, I think it's a mom who's 60, who's a midlifer, or guys, no, no. Well, I think it's a mom who's 60, who's working hard, who's overwhelmed in debt, who's behind on all her bills. So you don't think there's a 30-year-old who's overworked and behind on all his bills either? It has
Okay.
nothing to all only thing they can do is can relate to what you're going through that pain. That's all you want to focus on.
Okay.
All right. Gene, I know you've been waiting patiently. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Darrell. Yes, I need some help in condensing my story. So let me try to give it to you as quickly as I can.
Okay.
I was in a relationship for 5 years and I gave everything to that relationship. And then the guy said, "You're out of
Okay, I want
here."
to stop you right there, Miss Jane. Miss Jane, I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't care about your relationship. I'm just being honest.
And that's why I have to continue on. I've got a
Okay.
whole
All right.
all
Okay.
right. So as a result of that, I had to do a GoFundMe account to get myself back to where I was. So here I am, homeless, because I don't have the money to get anything.
Okay.
Fortunately, I had a friend who says, come live in my house. So I'm in an 8 by 10 guest room right now and have been. I'm on Social Security because all that money's gone from the relationship. So what am I going to do? Well, I've always worked for myself. I've never, I mean, worked for somebody else, never been an entrepreneur. Found a call center job where I could work remotely. So I was working this really tough call center job, 50 to 60 patients a day, doing all this stuff. And then what happens, I get a medical emergency. Had I not had emergency surgery that night that I went to the ER, I would be dead now. So 8 months rehab. Do I want to go back to that job? I don't want to go back to that job, but I have no money. My friend is paying my grocery bills. She's taking care of me. So here I am, a very and my stuff, my possessions are in a storage unit up in the state where he lived. So so you can see it's kind of a convoluted story, and I've been having a heck of a time. What do I lead with as far as pain points?
Well, okay. So from my experience, you don't want to lead with the relationship thing
Right.
because it's just not a good for business. It's not a good look. Like, so what I would do is, how long did you do the call center?
2 years until I got sick.
Okay, great. That's what we start at, Ms. Jean. Like, hey, for 2 years, I worked in a call center. I worked at a call center. Did you say you were seeing 50 to 60 patients a day or working 50
Yeah,
to?
I was working remotely, headphones. You were timed with your working. You have your bathroom breaks were even timed, would take off. I mean, it was very stressful doing working for a New York City conglomerate medical place. So I was answering phones for 20 different medical offices, over 150 doctors.
What was your work hours like?
It was 9 to 5,
9 to
15
5.
minutes off, 50 minutes in the afternoon, morning, and then 30 minutes for lunch. But I didn't move out of this chair for the whole 7.5 hours, and possibly that helped to get this medical emergency. I mean, had I not gone that night and they did emergency surgery that night, but it took 8 months of rehab to get back. And
Okay,
in
now,
order to go back to that job, I would have had to relearn software programs because they had moved on with new software programs, new phone system. I didn't want to go back to that. I didn't have a car to even drive over there now because
okay, I
I
want to ask
lost
you
it in
a
the
question.
relationship.
Okay, so again now, okay, so you worked at the call center. Now, you said you got hurt or did you got sick or you was I'm trying to I can't because I lost track of what you were saying as far as like
I got a pulmonary embolism.
okay, so you got a diagnosis.
Yeah. So had they not taken those clots out of my lungs, I wouldn't be here today.
Okay. How long were you off work? Were you off work for
8 months,
okay, so you were off 8 months.
short-term disability.
And you said you had to go stay with a friend of yours or something?
Yeah, I had no place to live.
Or you were
A
homeless?
good friend I've known for the last 40 years, she says, you come move in with me and you can stay in my guest room.
Okay. Homeless and had to stay with a friend. Okay. When did you join the Legacy? When did you find the Legacy program?
I joined last May. My problem is that I'm a learner and I went in through the videos and I kept watching the video well, and I got also overwhelmed. I'm also 70 years old and video is not second nature to me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Yeah, okay. So how I would start your story? It's kind of hard for me to do it all on this on live, but I wouldn't start with the relationship because
right.
it has nothing to do with the business. No disrespect. I'm just
I gotcha.
yeah.
I
But
didn't want to lead with it anyways.
yes, yes. It's just too personal.
Yeah.
It's too personal. It's too emotional too. If you keep saying a story like that, you're gonna it could just hit you the wrong way one day out of the blue and just you could have a nervous breakdown. It could be anything. You just never know. So, but we want to
Yeah.
start with the call center. Like, hey, for 2 years I worked at a call center job where I was literally just sitting all day, seeing 50, 60 patients. I mean, this job had me stressed. And so you worked at the call center you had a call center job for 2 years. It was a job that you work remote. You sat down basically the whole time. It was stressful. You were dealing with 50 to 60 people a day. you could say something like, you know, and I don't know. Okay, so how long after that job did you get your diagnosis, or what was the timetable for that, or what? Okay, so
Well,
while you were working when you were working when did you get the diagnosis while you were working
yeah, I worked for 2 years, and then I was having problems in breathing, and that lasted a month. And one morning I got up out of my bed and walked next door to the bathroom, and I could barely move. And so I called my friend. She was at work. I said, "You got to take me to the hospital." They did a
Okay,
whole bunch of tests, and they found out I had all these clots in my lungs. And they did surgery that night, ICU, rehab center, home care. And after
okay,
8 months of that, it was like, do
okay.
I really want to go back to the call center?
Okay, gotcha. So in a nutshell, you're like, hey, for 2 years I worked as a call center. It's a job I work remotely at for a call center, a job that I basically stayed in my seat all day, dealing with about 50 to 60 people per day. I mean, this was a job that had me stressed out, stressed to the max. And not long after that, guys, I got diagnosed with. You can let them know, hey, not long with that, I got diagnosed with pulmonary whatever, and
Mm.
it was really tough on me, and because of that I was off work for 8 months, and I caught myself not having any place to live, or well, no, I don't want you to say that. You'd be like, okay, I was off for like 8 months, and while I was off, I know I didn't want to go back to that call center, right? But you can also say, hey, because you were off and you didn't have any place, you didn't have a place to live, or you was I think you said you were home. Did you say you were? Did you say that you were homeless, or what was the? Did you?
Yeah, when I left that relationship, I had nothing in order
Okay,
to
so we're
get
not
back.
even. Okay, so we
No,
didn't even
no,
say that.
but somehow we need to tie in the fact that I couldn't drive anywhere to get a job because I had no car. Maybe we
Okay,
just say
gotcha.
I had no car. I lost everything in a
In the previous,
for-
okay,
previous
you could say something like, hey, for 2 years, you worked a job as a call center. This was a job that you work remote. You basically stayed sitting down the whole time. I mean, you're dealing with 50 to 60 people per day. You were stressed out, and yeah, you let them know, hey, it was a job that had me stressed. And for 2 years while I did it, then not long after that, guys, I had an emergency.
a
Um,
medical emergency. Yeah,
I had a medical emergency that had me down for 8 months, and I didn't have no transportation. I had lost everything that I owned, in a previous. You can say that I had lost everything that I owned in a previous relationship, and I had a friend of mine, ended up letting me stay with her, and I knew that I didn't want to go while this procedure during these 8 months. I knew that I didn't want to go back and do work the call center. I wanted to learn something else, and I'm just trying to figure out how to put
no,
it
I appreciate
right.
your taking the time
Absolutely.
because I've been racking my brain how to go about
Yeah,
it.
that's how, and so when you say that, then you're like, hey, I just knew that I didn't want to go back to that call center and work that job. And it wasn't until back here in, May of last year, that I actually stumbled across this blueprint. And then it's the same story. So it's just all about putting it together. Hey, for 2 years I worked at a call center. I worked at a call center, it was a remote. I worked at a call center remote, where I basically spent my whole day sitting in a chair. That's a pain point in itself. You're painting a picture. I spent my whole day sitting in a chair. This was a job that was very stressful. I saw about 50 to 60 people per day. And not long after that, I got diagnosed with I had a medical procedure. I got diagnosed with a procedure that had me out of work for 8 months. And I just knew that, I didn't have any transportation, so I wasn't able to drive, and I had lost everything else in a previous relationship. But I knew that I didn't want to go back and do that call center job, right? And so while looking, it wasn't until around about May of last year that I actually stumbled across this program, this blueprint, right? So you got a lot of pain points, Miss Jane. The fact that, first of all, again, you worked a job where you were stressful. The job had you stressed out, so that's a pain point. You worked a job sitting down all the whole day. That's a pain point. You got a diagnosis. That's a pain point, right? You lost everything. That's a pain point. Like there's a whole bunch of things that people can relate to. And anybody in their right mind would be like, hey, being off of work at a job that had you stressed for 8 months, I wouldn't want to go back there either. Right? That's all relatable things that they can relate to. And you're letting them know, hey, while you were looking, you let them know, hey, you didn't even have no transportation. Right? So you're painting that picture. Is a lot of people out here who don't have transportation, relatable content. And it wasn't until back here in May of last year that I came across this program, this blueprint. And following this blueprint, I'm learning these high income skills where I've been able to, and you just take them on a journey. But it all
Mm-hmm.
starts with just putting that little piece together. But yeah, that's where I would start with. I would just start with, hey guys, for a few years I worked at a call center. You ain't got to say 2 years. You can if you want. You can like, hey, for
Okay.
a few years I worked at a call center. Where I worked remote at a call center. I sat down the whole time. This job had me stressed. I had to deal with 50 to 60 people per day. And then not long after that, I got hit with a medical procedure that had me out of work for 8 months. And I didn't have any transportation, and I had lost everything else in a previous relationship. But I do know that during that time, I did not want to go back to that call center job. And while I was out looking it wasn't until back here in May when I stumbled across this digital marketing blueprint, when I stumbled across this program. And now I'm learning, and then you just go up into what you're learning, what you like about it. You're just kind of painting a picture. But they're good. That
Mm-hmm.
journey, that story is powerful because you're going to see people, you're going to connect with people who, first of all, work remote. First of all, who work at call centers, who see those type of people, who's stressed. It may not be that they could be stressed at their regular job. You're going to have people who don't have a procedure. It couldn't even be your procedure. It could be another procedure. Just relatable content. They can relate to that. They were off. I mean, that's how I was, man. I was off for 4 months, man. I had shoulder surgery. Different situation, same situation, just different scenario, just relatable. They can relate to that. And then you're just leading them on a journey, right?
And the thing is too, I believed in this program so much. I did Afterpay, and I'm still paying for this program. So
Hey,
I mean, that's how much I was committed
yeah.
to.
It's just all, yeah, guys, it works. It works. It all boils down to the content being relatable. Once you get that down, guys, I'm telling you, I would really man, I encourage you guys, I urge you guys, please work on your story. Write it down, throw it in Chat GPT. Spend about 30 minutes a day, an hour, I don't care. Shut off, lock yourself in the room and just be like, look, man, if you're serious about this business, if you're really serious, guys, you have to put in the work. 30 minutes a day to just get your story down. It ain't gotta be perfect. The video ain't gotta be perfect. None of that stuff, guys. You want to make sure that you know what you want to say. Just tell them your story. Share your hook, guys. Man, for doggone 7 years, I worked as a doggone delivery driver, working 60, 70 hours a week. I was stressed the hell out behind. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm talking about like just paint a picture of intense, like, just whatever. That's what you have to do, right? Just as long as you're being genuine and real, that's where they're gonna relate to you, right?
Thank you, Darrell. This really helped to
Absolutely.
tie things
Yes.
down. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, just focus on that. Let me see. That's hold up, give me a second. V, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Mine's not gonna take that long. I really don't have a problem storytelling, but it's more so of a point to where it's like, I don't know, and maybe it's in my own head. I get a little conflicted because I don't have the story that everybody else has. Meaning,
Bro, you don't need that though. You just need your story, champ.
well, okay, here's the thing. I don't have any dependents or anything. So, this I'll just kind of give you like a glimpse, not too much, but just kind of
Okay.
glimpse. Um, I was working 14-hour days for Nike. Um, and I decided one day that enough was enough. I barely had time for myself, nor did I have time to accomplish other tasks or goals I wanted to accomplish. Um, that's when I ventured off into the entrepreneur lifestyle, or being an entrepreneur. Um, Became a barber. That was great, but it was hard on my body. constant back pains and things of that nature because I'm on my feet for 10 plus hours a day. And then during that moment when I was barbering, I discovered this blueprint. And what I can say is that it has completely changed my life around. And I'm able to now work only 2 hours a day while making, I don't want to say all that because I don't want to throw people off,
Yeah,
but
you don't even have
being
to.
able to provide for myself.
Absolutely. Okay, so first of all, that's a good story, bro. Now you may not even look at like storytelling. It's storytelling. It don't matter how you draw it up, but it's good. So yours is really simple. So basically, okay, so how let me see. How long did you work at Nike?
For a year and a half.
Okay, so you can just be like, hey man, for almost 2 years, I worked at Nike working 14 hours a day. How many days a week did you work, bro? Oh, I think he's frozen.
Can you hear me? 4 days.
Okay, 4 days a week, 14 hours a day. Okay, so you could be like, hey, for almost 2 years, I worked at Nike, working 14 hours a day, 4 days a week. Barely having any time to do anything. Barely,
I forgot to mention, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. I did barber on the weekends. So Friday and Saturday, I was actually up 10 plus hours a day cutting hair. So my fault.
so part-time barber. Okay. So again, you could be
Yep.
like, hey, for almost 2 years, I worked 14 hours a day. For almost 2 years, I worked for Nike. Working 14 hours a day, 4 days a week. Body broke down. Never had any time to do anything. And then I was a barber, but I was a part-time barber working on my feet 10 plus hours a day, guys. I mean, this was causing me so much, it was causing me a lot of pain in my legs and my joints. And this ain't what I wanted to do, right? I'm just kind of just painting a picture because you have a lot of pain points. The 14 hours a
Right.
day is a pain point, right? So right at the gate, bro, we already know you're not going to have much time, and you're a part-time barber where you're on your feet, 2 times a week, or a part-time barber on your feet 10 hours a day. Like you got a lot going on. And that's a lot of pain points that a lot of people can relate to. So you'll relate to people. They may not be working
Okay.
14 hours a day, bro, but guess what? They can work 10 hours a day. They may be working 12 hours a day. They may work for Nike. They may work for Adidas. They can relate, right? So again, for you know for almost 2 years, I worked for 14 hours a day at Nike. 4 days a week. Job was hard on me. Didn't have no time. Never was able to do the things that I wanted to do. And then I was a barber part time. On my feet 10 hours a day. And I realized this is just not what I didn't see myself having this type of life. This ain't what I wanted to do. And it wasn't until boom. When did you join the program? Can you hear me?
Last year,
Okay.
2024, February. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
February 2024.
Oh, cool. Now
Uh-oh.
he joined right
February.
after me, not long after me, bro.
Yeah. Right
Because
after
I
you.
joined in January of 2024, right? And you said you joined
Yep.
in February 24. So you go like, hey, it wasn't until back here last year, guys, in February, that I came across this program. I came across this blueprint. And then you just lead them on a journey. Now because with this blueprint, I've developed these high income skills where now I've been able to take these skills and build me an online business where I'm able to use social media to attract customers. And I don't even have to talk to nobody or get on the phone with nobody because my business is automated, guys.
Okay.
I
Good to
love
hear.
Yes. And I love that it don't require me 2 hours a day to learn how to do this, to learn these skills. And I didn't have to be tech savvy. I have no experience, no following, and none of that, right? And now because of that, and guys, when I say now, when you say now you're painting you're painting the destination. And now because of that, now I got more time to do the things that I want to do. I don't have to work those 14 hours a day anymore. Bro, it don't even matter if you still doing it. You're painting the destination. Hey guys, now I don't have to work those 14 hours a day.
Gotcha.
I don't have to be on my feet for 10 hours a day. But not only that, my business, because it's automated, it's still out there working for me in the background. And then you hit them with the CTA.
Right.
Guys, I don't know what type of work you guys do, but if you're tired of working long hours and you want to know more about this program that's allowing me to learn some high income skills in 2 hours a day, then just put the word blueprint in the comments, and I'd be happy to send you guys over all that information. Right? Guys, I'm telling you, everybody on
Okay.
powerful story, man. You just got to work on it and put it together. Use Chat GPT, guys. I'm telling you, right? I took
Okay.
Liz's story. I took Liz's story and threw it in the Chat GPT. I almost used
Mhm.
her story in a piece of content. I said, man, hold up, man. Let me see if I can add this in. I mean, it just like they can make it sound so good, so much better than what we can because it's AI, guys, right? So yeah, man, it's powerful. All my content now within the last month is all from Chat GPT.
That was a huge help when you
Yes,
read
I
the
just
did you
talked to them
oh
like, hey, create
huge.
me boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 and they
Yeah.
just I'm
Is it
serious,
making a
man.
difference, Darrell?
So what, Annie?
Is it
Thank
making a
you.
difference?
Oh yes, I done had like 2 viral videos already, right? Like I did a video for 30 seconds. I did a video 30 seconds and it went viral off of
Oh,
just some I just threw something in there. It was the other day. I was just like I was in my car, it was in the evening. And then I had like a commission come in of like 900. It was late in the evening. The sun was setting, it was getting kind of dark. And I was like, I said, man, create me three. I'll just kind of just whatever. Like, cause I'm telling you, man, this thing about how TikTok works, you never know when you're gonna go viral. I don't know how this stuff works, right? But I just said a few things and I said, I want to create a short form video under 45 seconds. So they gave me like a little demographic and I just said it. I think that thing's got like 20,000 views already, right? So guys, you just never know. But yeah, it's guys, I'm telling you, just talk to Chat GPT. Like it don't matter if you're stuttering, you don't know what you want to say. Guys, they'll put it together. Trust me. It's artificial intelligence. So good stuff.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Let me see. Vinny said, I'm serious, serious. I'm just trying to read some. Is YouTube the best social media platform to utilize? All of them. All of them are good. Like for short form, TikTok is the best for short form. Long form, you can use uh YouTube is the best. YouTube is good, period, because it's the second largest search engine in the world outside of Google. So, which is owned by Google. So yeah, YouTube is really good. The reach, you can reach a lot of people. I like TikTok for short form. You can use Instagram. I use them all. I use YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I use all of them. They all work. It just, for short form, TikTok is the best. If for long form, if you want to spend more time like really going off into depths, then YouTube is great. Let me see. I'm just going to she said you can be successful. Yeah, you can be successful on any of them. Absolutely. Verna said that. She said I'm willing to be a moderator. I just now seen this. We will have the opportunity to share our videos. Will we have the opportunity to share our videos in the group or to get support with our stories? Absolutely. Yeah, guys, that's why I'm here. I have these because I want to help you guys. And this was just like a Q&A. So, and this is why I have these. A lot of, again, like this is why I have a founding members as well, guys, for people who work close to me so I can really hone in. Like I think for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've really been just focusing on like storytelling audits, right? That's where like we're just gonna get your story broken down. We break your story down. You know exactly what you're gonna say, how to attack it, and then you just focus on that because that's the goal, and that's in my founding members. That's a monthly subscription. It's a special price. It's going to be like that for like till the 28th of this month, and then it's going to go up because we're all going to go up into the inner circle. And of course, my inner circle is where everything that I've done in this business, everything that I got all types of strategies a lot of people don't use. I got all types of stuff. My inner circle is gonna get all of that, right? Because my goal is to help them make 10K every month, right? That's the whole goal. Yes, that's the whole goal. And so there's things that you have to know how to do, but it all starts with the story first. Without the story, you ain't got to worry about nothing else because they ain't gonna ask you for no information because they don't want to hear that you making $900 a day. They don't want to hear, they don't care about none of that. Guys, I want you to understand that your content is for, our content is not for us. This is, I think a lot of time we're trying to create content for us. Your content is for them. We already have the program, guys. The content is for them. They need to hear, why did you join, Philip? Why did you join? Man, I worked at a cheese factory for 2 years, 12 hours a day. They need to hear that. So that now you done found this program, you're painting that picture. We just want them to ask for information. Man, right? That's it, guys. That's all they care about. They don't care about how much money you made. They don't care about none of that. Yeah, they want to make money, but that's on the back end. Let's get them hooked first. Let's get them asking for information. They're going to ask you for information when they see you talking about stuff that they're experiencing because they think they're the only people who's experiencing that, right? So when you start talking, they seeing you showing up every day. You saying the same old stuff. They gonna be like, oh, shoot, maybe let me check out Leah. Let me go over to her website. Let me see her bio. Let me check out Annie's website. I'm gonna send her a message. That's what they're gonna do, guys. I'm telling you. I've got so many messages right now. I can't even listen. I don't had like I've got so many text messages. I've got almost probably this month already, guys. What's it? It was February 12th. I've got almost 700 leads already.
Share them. I'll help you.
Like I'm talking about like, and I got so many like TikTok. I was commenting to yesterday, other day, and they was like, "Hey, you're commenting too fast. Take a break." And that's what happens when you get a lot of leads, a lot, and people are like, hey man, details, 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 info, blueprint, 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 blueprint. That's just relatable. That's why they're asking, because I'm hitting them with the pain points. Hey, boom, this, whatever. Hey, yes, hey, what is that you're doing? Like, right? And then they start saving it and then they start sharing it. And that's what you want because then more people get to see your stuff, right? So you got to know how to just. I'm gonna tell you the best way, the hook. So I'm following this guy. He's a master storyteller, guys. He's a master storyteller. He started a brand new TikTok and had 500,000 followers in 4 months.
Wow.
500,000, a half a million off of him. He said, look here, when it comes to your hooks, he said, this is the most important thing in your content, the hook. He said, picture yourself driving down the road. You're on the interstate or you're driving on a back road or whatever, and you see something, and you're like, hold up, man. Is that what I thought I saw? That's how your hook has to be. It has to be something to where your audience is like, hold up, hold up. I gotta, what? Let me go back to this. That's what your hook, that's the type of power your hook has to be, right? So you got to ask yourself, what can I say? How can I word this to the point where like, if I say this, they gonna stop because they nosy. Social media is nosy, guys. They're nosy. They're nosy. What can I say that'll make them? What can I say that would have made me stop if I did it? Right? That's how I do my hooks. That's how I do. Every time I create a hook, I'm thinking like, what now? If I heard this, would I stop? That's how when you create your hook, be like, hey, if I was scrolling and I saw this, would I stop? Or if I was scrolling and I heard this, would I want to stop and listen? That's how you got to look at it, guys, right? So it takes time. I want you guys to say it takes time. You know, it's reps, man. That's all it is, guys. It's reps. It's reps. And you'll slowly but slowly build it. You just got to be patient. You just got to be patient because it don't happen overnight, right? It's easy for people to look at like, man, you got a big old following. Yeah, but yeah, y'all don't remember them days in there in that bedroom in that kitchen on that couch in there while I was up for 5 hours while everybody else was asleep. I done copied 3 of Michelle's videos word for word and 2 of Tim's, and I done memorized all of them. And then my wife wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "You do know it's 5 in the morning and you ain't been to sleep yet, right?" Yes, yes, I know. But I got to get this, babe. I got to get this. I got to figure it out, right? Guys, it's all the work is in the back. The work is in the lab. I call it the lab because that's where it's at. It's in the lab. That means like, what are you willing to do? What other people aren't? That's what you got to ask yourself. Are you willing to do what other people aren't? Because you can't just wing it. You can't just wake up and be like, okay, so man, let me get this content going. you got to have structure. I already know what I'm going to talk about in all of my videos before I even do it. When I go live, I already have it structured out. I know what I'm going to talk about. I got my windows up, everything. I never just jump up and wing anything. I already know. That's why creating content is easy for me because I already know what I'm going to talk about. So I can just be like, boom, and I can just freely start talking. But and that's what I want you guys to get into. But it takes time, guys. But you have to take this thing serious, man. I mean, this business is crazy. This is a crazy business, man, that can really, I'm talking about it can take you from zero to hero in overnight, depending on what type of you can all it takes for you to do is get one video that go viral. You get one video to go viral, you could have 3 to 5 thousand leads in 1 month just off of that one video. I'm telling you guys, it's my first. I did one my first viral video, viral. It's got like 1.5 million views. I know I done made at least $80,000 off of that video alone by itself. I know I have easy. I still got people commenting on that. About, hey man, I lost my job too, and I did that video back here in April. No, I didn't. I did that video back here in July. And people are commenting. You know why? Because when they come to your Facebook page, when they come to your TikTok or your page, that's your storefront. When they come to your page, they should be like, man, what does Annie do? What does Phil do? What does Liz do? Let me check. Let me click on this. That's why the cover hooks are so important, guys. The cover hooks, because when they come to your page, they see all those cover hooks. And their nose, they're like, oh, shoot. Okay, let me click on that. Right? And it's just going to bring more value. They get to see you in person. They get to read your energy. And they're going to ask you for information because they're going to see you talking about this blueprint. They're going to be curious. What is this blueprint she talking about? I'm just going to ask her for some. I'm just going to ask. That's all we want them to do. That's all we want you to do is ask for the information so we can send it to you and let the automations take care of themselves. Right? So that's it, guys. But good stuff today. Okay, go ahead, Annie.
Sorry, I was in the car before driving in a snowstorm. So if you called on me, I missed you. But anyway, I just want to clarify. Now I've been listening to everybody's stories and that they're really great and I get it. But at one point we were told not to make I'm not sure which part it was. I thought it was like don't make the story about you. Have it relatable. But so it's the hook which catches them. And then you share your story, but bring out the points that they can relate to. Is that what?
Yes, you got to share yes, you got to share the pain. You got to you catch them with the hook. Because see, the Legacy Builders program focus it can solve any problem. I don't care what they're going with. But because most of your targeted audience is most 9 to 5 people who work a job or somewhere along that line. Well, we know that 75 to 78% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So we know it's a great possibility they work a job that they feel like they overwork, they underpaid, they feel like they got to have 2 jobs to make money. They struggling. They can't afford to pay their bills. They want to file for bankruptcy. They don't have enough for retirement. Like all these things. So how you're going to relate to them is just by sharing people. Why did Annie join? What was going on? What did Annie not like about her job or what she was doing that made her say, you know what, man, this ain't, I got to find something else like this. And that's what you share. You let them know, hey, for 12 years, I was a police officer. I hated that job, guys. I had to work these long graveyard shifts. I don't know, 5 to 3, 5 to 5 in the morning. Like, I feel like I was walking around on eggshells. It could be anything, but the pain points are the things that you didn't like what you were doing that made you come online. There was a reason why. Like I came online. Why? Well, guys, I was working 12 hours a day as a welder in a factory over 100 degrees. I never saw my kids. I worked 6, 7 days a week. I missed out on birthdays, anniversaries, get-togethers, right? And then I got fired. And then I was homeless, right? But what I realized, I didn't want to work a job. I wanted to find something where I could make enough money, but not have to sacrifice so much time. God, that's a good hook. That's a good story right there. Because everybody want more time. Everybody want two things, time and money. That's what this program can give you. And guys, I came online. I did a variety of things, but it wasn't until January that I discovered this blueprint. And going
And
through
then,
and
okay, I'm sorry.
you're painting that picture, right? So it's a journey that you're leading them on. You catch them with the hook. Man, are you
Okay.
tired of being overworked and underpaid?
Yeah.
You'll get to the point where when you get comfortable, then you can put expression in it. Man, are you tired of being overworked and underpaid?
Okay.
Right? How would you see? And like I did one, I think like the other day. Let me see. I'm gonna show you which one I did. I'm gonna show you. I think I did one for like 30 seconds or like some crazy. It was crazy. Let me get out here and see if I can find it. Um, can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see which one it was. I think it was
How do
this.
you know what order they're in?
Look here. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have a cell phone, it's 28 seconds long. You're on social media. And guess what? If you can work 2 hours a day, kind of fit that into your schedule, then I can show you how to make $900 a day, $600 a day, or $300 a day without ever speaking to anybody, recruiting, DM anybody, chasing your friends and family, or none of that. To learn more, just ask me how. Okay, now this is a video where like, okay, these are the type of videos I'm talking about. Like once you get your story packed down, then you can just attack it. You can attack and create content without even mentioning anything in your story. As long as you got a good hook. My hook is right here. Want to turn your social media scrolling into 300, 600, and 900 a day. I also got that on my description in yellow, and I got it there. And so that's a 28-second video that's already made me $4,000. That video right there, just that video alone, it's got 341 likes, 523 comments, and 125 saves, right? And people asking for information. How, sir? How, bruh? Info. How? Please tell me. How can I do that? How? Like, guys, again, like you'll start learning how to create content that'll just, again, I got straight to the point with it. Straight to the point, and it's just 28 seconds. And the good part about it, 28 seconds, everybody read that because they looking at the top right there where it says want to turn your social. Everybody's on social media, so that's just another video where I said once you get to the point where like, hey, you can attack it from another instant. I'm gonna show you guys another one real quick. Let me see. Um, let me see. Let's try this one. You're waking up today dreading work. Ask yourself these three questions. Okay, so you see how the hook was this. If you're waking up today dreading work, you know how many people wake up every day dreading work? Ask yourself this. I got them hooked. Ask yourself this. Today dreading work, ask yourself these three questions. Number one, why am I working so hard and still broke? Stop right there. Why am I working so hard and still broke? Now they're thinking, man, why am I working so hard and I'm still broke? Number two, why am I giving this job all of my time knowing that it ain't paying me enough? And how many people work jobs that they know good and well they need to be making more money they should be? And number three, why am I sacrificing my life just to live? See, I used to do these stuff when I worked as a welder. Relatability. Now I'm sharing my story. I'm just hitting it from a different angle. These are all the things, guys, that I had to experience. And the crazy part about it is we just become brainwashed thinking this is our only way that we can survive and provide for our families. And it wasn't until I got fired from that job, came online and got introduced to digital marketing and found this blueprint that I learned these high income skills. I'm always letting them know I've learned these high income skills. Let them know what you're learning. And was able to build me an online business. Let them know what you're doing with your skills. Guys, I've been able to take these skills and build me an online business or start me an online business. where I only work 2 hours a day, and now I have more time. I'm not stressed. Now I'm paying. I'm taking them in for the destination. I'm painting that picture. Now, guys, I have more time. I'm not stressed. Right, painting the destination, and I deserve and I earn the amount of income that I'm worthy of. And guess what? I have more time to spend with my family doing the things that I love. Guys, if you're tired of that cycle and you want to learn, and then it's just a CTA, guys. It's just a CTA. And again, it's just reps, man. It's just reps. Look at this one says, can you relate to this? Can you relate to this? Get paid right out the gate, guys. Right out the gate, the hook. Can you relate to this? Now, here's the pain points. On Friday, broke by Monday. Working 50 to 70 plus hours a week, still barely surviving. Stressed out over rent, stressed out, but guess what? The bill's still piling up. You see that? Hitting all those pain points. Get paid on Friday, broke by Monday. That was me. So many years of my life doing this, welding, struggling, being behind on all my bills. And I knew that unless I broke this cycle, nothing was going to change. And it wasn't until I discovered digital marketing a year ago, guys, where now I've been able to develop and learn some high income skills that literally allows me to print money, guys, on demand. And I only work 2 hours a day. So if you're struggling and you know that cycle that you're a part of, that job that's not getting it done, and you want to know more about the blueprint that I'm following, then just put the word details in the comments. And so again, guys, it's just something that you'll pick up once you get the story down, right? And so that's why it's important to just focus on your story. And then once you get comfortable, you already know what you're going to say, right? And then you can just throw it in the chat GPT. Hey, create me 3 viral stop the scroll titles and hooks for, just tell your story. And I always say, hey, focus on the pain points. Focus on the pain points to my audience and let them know that they can start an online business where they can learn high income skills and be able to work 2 hours a day from their phone and be able to earn an income online. And just hit send. They're going to bring you up some stuff. You're going to be like, bro, Lord, have mercy. I wish I could memorize all this. And you probably could if it took you time enough. But guys, it's just a cheat code for content creation, right? So, but that's pretty much it for today, man. If ain't nobody got any more questions, again, man, this is this is why I have these, man. I just want guys, man, I want you guys to get this down because I'm gonna tell you, you get that down, work on it, guys. Spend 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes, I don't care, 5 minutes, whatever. Just invest in your time with the story. Get it down. Cause I'm gonna tell you, man, that story, everybody on here got a story that can make them $10,000 every month. You may not think it is, but it can because your story ain't for you, it's for them. They need to hear you. You're already in the program. They ain't. So they working 14 hours a day and they got another another job. They've been at their job for 22 hours, right? I mean, 22 years and stressed the hell out and behind on the rent, like everything, guys, right? You don't have to go off and just focus on those things. Open that chest cavity up and pull all type of bleach and pine sol and alcohol, everything down up in there, right? Make it feel like they sliding down a razor blade into a pool of alcohol. Because people buy off emotion. It's so like impulse shopping, right? So make them, man. Hey, man. Hey, B, can I get some of that, man? What is that you talking about? That program blueprint? They'll get tired of you talking about some blueprint. They're gonna ask you for information. That's why I say it every day. Blueprint, 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 blueprint. Hey, man, give me some blueprint information. Yes, here it is. Sure do. Hey, sure do. Hey, and always when they ask for information, guys, mention their name. People love they gotta tell you this stuff. People love to be. They like to be. People love to be feeling important. They want to feel important, right? So like, hey, V, awesome, sure thing, man. Hey, click the link in my bio to learn more about the information about the digital about the blueprint program. Hey, Liz, sure thing. Hey, click the link in my bio to learn more about the blueprint program.
Right.
right? Because it makes them feel special. You call them by their name, guys. This is it. This is some little stuff that I learned, man, years ago when I purchased an email marketing program. Like it's a lot, man. It's just more. I mean, it's the little things, those strategies, man, that can make the difference. Um, so storytelling is everything. So, all right, guys. Oh, hold up, hold up.
I just have a quick question about posting on TikTok. So, 3 pieces of content a day that I'm posting, but is there a recommended, like, how far apart you should be posting your content?
I mean,
Is
there
it
ain't no recommendation. You can YouTube that and Google it. Everybody like, oh, you can
okay?
post time. So I always like to post like so I like to post early in the morning. Like my first piece, I typically post it like between 7 and 8 in the morning because I get up at 5 every morning. Then I go to
Right.
the gym for an hour. Then I come
Mhm.
home. Then I start creating my content. So I typically post my first videos between 7 to 8, and then
Mhm.
I really try to have all of mine typically done before I go live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, which I didn't do today because I was at the dentist. But
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna do that sometime to this evening. But I typically post mine like in the morning. Then I may wait an hour. I may wait 2 or 3 hours. But I always try to post one at the peak time where my friends come on the most, which for me is around 11 to 12,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then I noticed posting in the evening because most people are off of work like 5, 6. Everybody's off work. Everybody's on social media.
Mhm.
That's a good time to post too because everybody's online, right? So I try to find.
Okay.
I know people are getting up early in the morning. That's a good time to post. 6, 7
Mhm.
o'clock, 8 o'clock, noon, 4 to 6 in the evening. Those are great times because that's where everybody is on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Uh, Maria.
Just one question about the emails, because I think it's very important what you were saying about the name. But how we can because we don't know the person that are gonna um, come into our email marketing. How can we do that? Is there a way to do that? To put their name
Yeah,
on system?
yeah, there is a way in the training. She shows you how to. Well, she don't show. She shows you how to do it, but she don't show you how to do it, right? I don't, and it's good. I kind of wish. Well, as a matter of fact, you can set your it's in the training, but you can set it up instead of where it says like you just got to bring a block over. This is stuff that I learned. Like I may have to do a training on this for people who want to do that. But you can, and this is good. This is important because I thought about doing it myself anyway. Where you bring the block, you can bring another block over, and it'll instead of it just saying, "Hey, the email," it'll have their name. Not only does that like double your open rate and your click rate, because again, people like to be called by their name. So I would rather open up an email and say, hey, Darrell, or hey, Liz, right? Instead of saying, hey, my friend, or this and that, right? But when you got one that's specific, even though you send it to your whole list, the system, you can have it set up. It's all on the sides, guys. I'm gonna have to do a training on this, but you can have it set up to where, like, when you send your emails, if you got the name thing on it, where they put in their name and their email, when you send it out, it'll say their name. Hey, good morning, John. Good morning, Liz. Right? Hey, Mario.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they feel like, even though you don't send it to your whole list, they feel like you literally wrote that email for them. Right?
Yeah,
Action equals
that's
currency.
very important.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
That's
to. I'm gonna
really
I may try to. Matter of fact, I thought about doing that anyway because I'm used to before I even found System.io because System.io was new for me. I used Get Response, and I always did my name and then I did the email. I want to collect. I like to call people by their name because I understand in email marketing, you story tell in email marketing, guys. I'm gonna be doing a training on this pretty soon in my
yeah.
in the
Just a second.
in
If
the
I
founding
can,
members. So yeah,
if I can turn on, I don't think I could learn. But for example, on System.io, there is, for example, phone number, country, address, postcode. No, there is no name. Yeah, because I think it's important to do that. I thought was there. I thought to have seen name, but it's not. Like I was
It's
checking right now.
important to do it. It's just that Michelle don't have the system set up like that. But you can go and edit the not the thank you page. What page is that? The video, is it the video page? You can go edit one of those. I'd have to go and double check, but you can go edit that, and you can. On the side there's these blocks. You can pull these blocks to the side, and you can just type in name. And so once you save it, then in order for them to get the information, they got to put their name in there and their email, and then you can have your email set up where like in your inside your automations, when you go to deliver write the email, off to the right there's a button that you click on. It's got like names, first name, last name, like a variety of things, and you can copy and paste that. And so when you send that, it'll put their name in there because they're already in your automations. Your system has collected their name, so it'll just say their name right in the email. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking about, I'm
If
gonna do it.
you could do a training
I'm gonna try to do a
on
training
that.
on that and post it.
The capture page? Because I think I saw that in there, the blocks and
I'd
stuff.
have to. My mind is like wrenched right now. I'd have to go in and do it. But
Thank you.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a train on that because that's good, guys. I want y'all to understand something. Like I'm gonna show you this, and this is when you'll get to the. And I learned this. A seven-figure coach taught me this. A seven-figure coaching dude taught me this. So this, I'm not being funny when I say this, guys. But he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, man," he said, "your TikTok page looks really nice. You have a really nice page." He said, "But you should have more engagement." And I was like, "Okay, right." So anytime somebody does that, you're like, "Man, let me go check out this dude, man," because you got all these trolls. So I went and checked him out. His page seems legit. He said, "Hey, man," he said, "I really like to jump on a Zoom with you and just give you some free value." He said, "I'm not trying to sell you nothing, but if you want to work with us, that's on the table." I said, "Okay, cool, right? 2025, I'm open for everything if it makes sense." Jumped on a Zoom with him. We was talking. He opened my page. He said, "So I see you promoting a program called the Legacy Bit." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." So we was on a Zoom like this, and he typed in the thing, and of course the page came up. He said, "Don't take this. Don't take this funny, guys." He said, "You're a black guy, but when you pop your screen up, it's a white family on the screen." He said,
Mhm.
"Now people join people who they like, know, and trust, right?" I said that's true, right? He said, "How many people have joined you?" I said, "More blacks have joined me, but I've had all over them." But I saw where he was coming from, right? Then
Right.
Mhm.
he put in he hit the next button and it's got the video of Michelle. He said, "Okay." He said, "Now there's a video of Michelle." He said, "Now how much different?" He said, "How much did you make last year?" I told him, right? He said, "Now how much do you think you make if you was in that video when they put in their email and you the person that they saw? Because you're the reason why they asked you for information. So if you put
Yeah.
yourself in," he said, "and when they log in and they see you, they're going to really feel like, okay, okay, now we own to something, right?" It's all about connection." And he gave me a lot of free value. Like, it was great. And he was like, "Man, he told me," he said, "Do you think you could teach somebody how to make 10K every month?" I said, "Oh, yes, no doubt about it, because I've done it a lot." He said, "I can book your calendar up where you'll have people paying you $8,000 every day, multiple people per day for a whole month." That's what he told me. Because he told me and this is funny because he said, "Man, y'all see your coach, you got a coaching call for $200." He said he told me I shouldn't be charging no less than $8,000 for my coaching call. He said there's people that'll pay you $8,000 to $10,000. There's actual people who are in the online space already. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to create content. And he said they'll pay you that. He said this is what I do, and he showed me all these examples. But I'm gonna show you what I done. Right? I didn't get him or nothing, but I took his free value though, right, which was good. And so again, this is what I did with mine. And you can do this once you get to the point where like, hey, you feel comfortable and etc. So can y'all see this? Okay, hold up. So can y'all see this? So for my capture page, I got it's me and my daughter and my son, right?
Nice.
So just again, relatable content, just building the relationship. So when someone put their email in, right? Hey, Darrell Henny here, and then they got me. I want to thank you for opting in. right? So it's all about branding, right? And I'm gonna tell you what I done. All I did was I went and watched that whole video that Michelle did, right? And
Uh-huh.
I pretty much created the same video with myself, right? I used CapCut and added the testimonials. I didn't use I used one of her testimonials she had on hers, and then I used like a couple other people's testimonials, right? And of course, mine ain't as long as Michelle because a lot of times they don't want to be reading a 20-minute video, right? But it's just all about branding. And then I haven't done this yet, but what I'm going to do is the blueprint video, the one that you get in your email, the third video, I'm going to redo that one and make that myself too. My sales have already increased just off of that alone, guys, right? Again, but it will once you get to the point where you're knowledgeable about things and you know what to say and et cetera, man. It just comes with time and reps, right? But he gave me a lot. He gave me some good value. He wasn't trying to be funny. I saw exactly what he was saying, right? Relatable. They can relate, right? So it's all about the relatable guys. When they can relate to you, you could blow smoke it. You could take a bag and put bag in the air and air in a bag and tie it up. They'll buy from you. I'm serious. Like it once they buy, if a person buys something from you one time, they'll buy something. It don't matter what you do because you've already developed and showed them that you're trustworthy. They believe you, and they like you, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, guys. So just something that you eventually, we'll
For
get there.
CapCut,
We'll get there.
for
Yes.
CapCut, y'all, you can't use it right now. I just try to download it because I didn't even think about what you just said. I was going to do that immediately, but you can't use CapCut. So if I find anything that
You
is
can
similar to
use it.
CapCut,
What I had to do for some odd reason they won't let you like download it. I had to
yeah,
go. I forgot what I had to do because I remember typing in YouTube and I said, "Hey, how do I download CapCut?" Because I tried to download it, it wouldn't do it. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
go and download something else, and then I had to. I think it's like Google Chrome or something like that, and then I had to run it through there. That's how I was able to get it because you just I
okay.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they won't let you.
They cut that off and they cut off the creator store for the TikTok as well.
Oh, okay. So
Because
yeah.
they invited me to sign up and then I signed up and then they snatched the program away. But when the program came back, I had everything set up, the store name and everything, but they won't let me download the creator part until they make a decision.
Yeah, you can still
It's
post.
connected.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can
But
still pull it
my
up.
CapCut I had before they shut it down, so it just came right back. But they changed the specs on what they're charging me for it. But it doesn't matter because TikTok does everything that CapCut does. CapCut does because they're the same platform.
Well, I just like how with the videos on TikTok. I mean on CapCut, you're able to like you can
Okay.
make your videos, you can add other videos, and you can compress them.
Okay.
So it just seems like it's perfect, man. Like and
Oh, okay.
whatnot.
I never thought about that. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll answer one more question and then we'll hop off, guys. All right, Maria. Oh no, she had a question. Did you have a question, Maria? Oh no, okay, okay. All right, guys. So what I'll end up doing, I'm gonna start anytime we start doing these like these little calls like this, I'm gonna make up a module, just a replay module for Q&A. I'm gonna put it in the classroom. And so because a lot of times people can't make it, I understand, so they can always go back and watch it and see if they have some questions that somebody else asked and got their question answered. So I'll be uploading this sometime today. What's today? Wednesday? Okay, so
Wednesday.
I will say this, guys. If like for Liz, and I'm trying to see if anybody else is on here. I think she's the only one. Let me see. I think she's on it. I'm going to be out of town Saturday, so we may not have the founding members training because I'm going out of town tomorrow, and I'm not going to be back till Sunday or whatnot. So we may not have it. I'll email everybody and let them know for sure though. But I know I'm going to be out of town or whatever. So.
Well,
But
I'll live. Just enjoy yourself.
oh yeah, you too.
Listen,
I forgot, Colette, you are in there too. I forgot all about it. Yeah, you.
changes in life. Life shows up and you have to just
So
make
we'll have
room.
a
People.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be covering a whole bunch of stuff, man. We got all year, but again, my goal is to get this part packed down because this is the most important, and then everything else is just like cruise control stuff. Some of the stuff that you guys are gonna I'm going to be sharing with you guys is going to blow your sales up really through your emails. So, all right, guys, enjoy your what is this? Yeah, okay, Wednesday. So enjoy your Wednesday, and guys, if you have anything for me, just reach out to me, guys. All right.